Fam, happy Monday to you all. New Zealand fam, I hope you're doing well tonight. BIA, I hope you're safe, brother, and the storms have subsided. Brangus, it's always good to see you, brother. Just got off work and sat down, so that's about as much as I've done. As always, I might look a little bit sleepy. I know I got those ever popular bags under my eyes, but I wasn't about to miss story time. What's up, Matt? How you doing? Aloha, Big Island Angler. How are you? How's the weather? It's going, Matt. Always forward, I say. Just got off work. It's not that it was extensively busy. There was just a lot to catch up on after the weekend, and yeah, kept me busy. And before I knew it, it was just time to leave. Just won't let up, man. Sorry to hear that. Hey, Matty G, how's it going, fam? It's good to see you, man. How was your day? I just do this. Just doing some little maintenance there on the hands. Just a nervous habit. But how's everybody's day? What did everybody do today? Yuck. Yes, I agree. I agree, but it is good to be sitting here in the chair, and my back is thanking me for sitting in this chair tonight. I appreciate that. So far, so good. And we're going to get into a little bit more of Mama Ghost's book. Wonderful day in the neighborhood. I love it. Got my coffee right here, ready to go. Got 3-4 readers in here already. We're going to scramble the cube up, do a couple cube solves, and then we'll get going at about the 10-minute mark as always. Give you all a little time to get in, get settled, get comfy, get your favorite nighttime beverage, and bunker down for story time. Love that. I hope you and your son feeling better, Matt. I know you said you were feeling fine, but I hope you're still feeling fine. All right, I'm gonna solve this when the live timer hits 3:30. That's how I'll time myself today. All right, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 2, 1, go. Of course, now I can't find anything. That one. Oh, not my best time. That I can say confidently. And that time Yeah, that was like a minute and 20. Yo, what's up, Charlie? I'm late, but I made it. No worries at all. How are you doing tonight, Charlie? I was working a little bit more on your card throughout the day while I was waiting for like systems to load up and things like that. I had some markers by the card working on it. But I hope you're having a wonderful Monday. We're going to get started here in about the next 5 minutes. What's going on next? It's good to see you, brother. Hope your Monday or whatever day it is now is good for you. Kara, it's good to see you. People are starting to trickle on in, getting ready for Unspoken Secrets. I think this is the third read we're doing, and we're starting with chapter 13. I will say this one's going to be hard if you haven't heard the first 12 chapters, but just stick along. I promise it'll be a good read regardless. Tuesday night, that's what I thought. Well, I hope your Tuesday night has been amazing. All right, I'm going to do this at 6:15. 2 a.m., let's go. All right, and solve. Okay. Oh man, my hands are all shaky. Probably haven't relaxed from the day of work yet, which does happen sometimes. Build that up. This one's good, that one's good. Sweet. Yeah, this was not going to be my best time either. That was about a minute and 15. Appreciate it. I'm doing really good. Just enjoyed short 6K hike today, so ready to relax. No kidding. What's up, Rafa? No kidding. I'd be ready to relax after that as well. Gonna get kicked off in about 2 minutes here, which means I can give this one more good scramble solve. Doubt I'll be able to, but we'll try and push for a minute time. But I'm gonna start at 8:30. 8 minutes 30 seconds. See if I can get it before 10 minutes. On the live timer. And 3, 2, 1, go. Really? I'm not feeling fluid. Hey, I did it before the 10-minute mark, but that was still about a minute and 15, so minute 15 seems to be my average. Sending you tomorrow that thing we talked about long ago. Let's go. Hope you will receive it fast. I'm sure it'll come quite fast, but I appreciate you next. I can't wait for it. All right, we are just now on the 10-minute mark, so let's all get ready to hunker down, relax, and listen to a little bit more of my mother, Mama Ghost, her book that we are reading. We are going to start with chapter 13 tonight. We're probably going to go until chapter 18, if I had to guess, get some 6 chapters rocked out. Also sending some additionals. Let's go. Appreciate that. I'm sure the Ghost fam would appreciate you as well next. It's super nice of you, fam. Oh, and I hit 495 subs today. 495 subs. Let's go. That's great, man. It's right there. What's up, Dirk? I appreciate you being here as always. Got 9 readers in the chat. Yeah, congrats indeed. It's right there, man. It's right there. And I'm pretty sure, didn't you hit 500 at one point? Did you go down? But everybody, if you're not subbed up to next, go and sub up to next. Help them hit. Help them hit that 500 mark. All right. Well, here we go. We're going to jump right into chapter 13. Of course, the kids had their massive battle, and Kimmy took on Dag, and they had a big beast battle because Kimmy can apparently transform into anything she desires. So that was kind of neat, and they pretty well took us home to talk with their mothers for a minute, and they're pretty much all there with them. So let's see how this is going to all pan out. There's a lot of people in the book, so. Wow, thank you. I know it was a lot. Never had this much. We're here, just got home from picking up the boys. Let's go. You've made it just in time, New Zealand fam. I was just about to start from chapter 13. I was just giving a little short recap there. The kids are going to be waking up, and let's see what happens, because this beginning conversation's a little confusing, but I'm sure they'll talk about the why. So, all right. Chapter 13. When Kimmy woke up the following morning, she left the colorful room and walked outside. She stood still for a moment, enjoying the silence. Everything looked beautiful to her and so green. It was as if overnight someone had taken a crayon and colored the land brilliantly. "So, you felt me summons you?" Kimmy heard the deep voice ask. She spun around and saw Dag standing there. "What, can't find your tongue? That's different," Dag said. "What are you doing here?" Kimmy challenged. "I told you I would come back. I told you it's not over yet, so here I am. What a shame it'll be when your magical family wakes up and finds you gone." Dag circled her as Kimmy tried to think. "Dag, do you think you're going to get away with whatever you're planning on doing?" "Oh, I know I will." "But you'll be caught. After all, you couldn't hold our queen. What makes you so sure that you can hold me?" Dag laughed and drooled. "You silly human. I guess the good magic, as you call it, and your queen has failed to tell you what happens when an earthling's captured before they learn how to properly use their magic." "Oh, don't fool yourself. We've talked about it," Kimmy lied. "If you've talked about it, why are you out here? Did you miss the part about how no earthling shall wander outside the protected walls of the queen? Or are you just stupid?" "I wanted some air and didn't see the harm in it. Besides, I wasn't expecting you to be here." "Well, surprise, I am. Now you're coming with me. I'm taking you to Watessa, and she's going to decide what to do with you." When Kimmy reached for her ring, she realized it was gone, and no longer on her finger. Dag laughed. "Looking for this?" He held up her ring. "Oh, too bad. I took it off the second you stepped outside the safety of the walls. Now it's mine. You're powerless without it." He laughed as he swept her up and flew away. When Fiery looked in the colorful room, she noticed immediately Kimmy wasn't there. She turned and went outside. When she found it empty, she reached for her locket around her neck, opened it, and sprinkled green glitter. Before she knew it, all the good magic of the land was gathered before her. As she took in their sleepy faces and realized with a heavy heart that Kimmy was gone. I've gathered all of you because something bad has happened. She waited a beat to let what she told them sink in before she spoke. What happened? Rain asked with a sigh. Charisma's missing, Fiery answered. What do you mean, missing? Rain sounded panicked. Just what I said, she's gone. But where did she go? I don't know. But how could she be missing? Bobby asked, upset. Listen, gather close so I can tell you what I think happened. When the magic of the good land gathered closer to Fiery, she took a moment to look at each of them. I don't know where Charisma is. Now, I shall make a fire in the pit and look there for the answers. As she flung her finger towards the pit, a fire ignited, and Fiery stared at the yellow flames licking the air. When she nodded, she looked at her people. Watessa has her. What? Shelby was alarmed. What do you mean, Watessa has her? How did that happen? Fiery glanced towards the fire. She was taken early this morning. Fiery looked miserable. Apparently, she wandered out here without guidance. So, Bobby shrugged. What does that mean? We've wandered before, but nothing like this has happened. True, Fiery nodded her head absently. But you've wandered when you were mere mortals of the world. You had nothing to offer anyone. It's not true now. Do you want to explain that? Dave snapped. I'll try. Please sit on the ground and focus on becoming one with the land. Once everyone was seated, Fiery waited a beat before she began again, looked at each of them in the eye. She read the conflicting emotions, and knew that it wouldn't be easy trying to explain what happened. Right now, Charisma's gone. We can't save her yet either. If anyone tries, they will meet with suffering. Why? Renee asked quietly. Because, Raven, Charisma's powerless, and so are all of you. We are not, Manning argued. We did a fine job helping you escape. Yes, you did, Mountain, but this is different, Fiery answered. How? Bobby asked. It's different because Charisma holds the highest power of all of us. What? I don't understand, Dave snapped. So why don't you start talking? Maybe then we'll have a clearer picture of what you're talking about. Okay, I'll try. Fiery turned and stared into the flames of the fire once again. Before she looked at them, children, you must understand, Charisma's been captured. Now, this time, she is not in the dungeon where Watessa kept you last time. This time, Watessa is quartering Charisma in the castle. What do you mean she's quartering her? Quarters means she shares Watessa's dwelling. That's where they've taken her. So let me get this straight. She's actually being held against her will in Watessa's house? Bobby asked, agitated. Yes, Fiery answered. So let's go get her, Dave said. What are we sitting around talking about it? It's not that easy, Fiery answered. Sure it is. We just have to think about our magical power, think about a plan of action, and before nightfall, we'll have Charisma back here with us. Yeah, the others instantly agreed. Children, part of the problem was none of you understood what your powers mean, leaving you clueless on what's going on here. No, we're not, Shelby yelled. You act like we don't understand anything, but we do. We're not stupid. And I feel like the way you talk to us implies that. Not at all. Now hush, so I can tell you what I mean. When they felt quiet, Fiery cleared her throat. Charisma's grandmother is the highest power in the land. And Watessa knows this. This is a hindrance in two ways. First, it makes it harder to teach all of you humans about your magic. Second, it makes it very difficult to rescue Charisma. Difficult how? Bobby demanded, clearly upset. Charisma's mother, Rain, stepped forward. Listen to me, children. When they swung their eyes to stare at her, she nodded gently. All of you are very intelligent humans when you want to be. Now you need to listen before Charisma gets hurt, understand? As she watched the children, she knew they were clearly shaken by what happened. Now let's see if I can explain this whole thing. Charisma's grandmother, Culver, has the highest power of all the land, which is why Watessa has taken her. She knows she holds the key to all the magic here in these lands. Charisma's powers are so great that once trained in her ways of magic, she could battle the evil part of the land and win victory single-handedly without any of us. But unfortunately, right now, she's helpless. Well, why doesn't Grandmother Culver help her then? Dave asked. Because she can't. Look, it works like this. Charisma was brought here with the rest of you to train. She was given one part of her magic, which was the ring. Fiery instructed her never to take that ring off, which Charisma never did, but because she stepped outside of the safety of the house, they captured her and they've also taken her ring. Now she's powerless and only a mere human. How did they get the ring? Renee asked. The Darkland's power is much stronger than Charisma's. Yeah, but our powers are stronger than theirs, right? Renee asked. Not right now, because they took Charisma. Their power is stronger, Rain answered. It doesn't make any sense. Bobby looked confused as he glanced at her. I know you're upset, Bobby, but right now the only thing we can do is prepare. So how do we do that? Dave asked. I really wish someone would start talking about what we're going to do because I want to bring Charisma back and everything you've told us is useless. Now let's get down to business. Kimmy stared at Watessa defiantly. Why am I here? Watessa stared at her with her one purple eye. Because you're worth more than the rest. What do you mean? Kimmy tilted her chin and glared at Watessa, who laughed. Kimmy, or should I call you Charisma? I am the highest power now because of you. Yeah, whatever. Anything you say means nothing. It should mean something. You'd be foolish not to listen. Watessa snapped her tentacle. You anger me. So, do I look like I care? Kimmy asked. No. That's what's going to get you in trouble. Watessa laughed again. I think that's what's going to get you in trouble. Kimmy shot the words at. I think that's what's going to get you in trouble. Kimmy shot the words at her. Human, you're way out of line. I'm the one with the power, not you. Now, a wise human would tell me everything they know. What are you talking about? I'm going to ask you a series of questions, and when I do, you're going to give me the answers. Watessa stared at her. And if I don't? Kimmy asked, crossing her arms over her chest. Well, if you don't, I'll feed you to Dag. When Kimmy laughed, Watessa snapped her tentacle. Do you dare laugh at me? She raised her voice, causing the room they were in to shake. Yes, I'm sorry, I do. Kimmy laughed harder. You think you're so sure of yourself, but you're nothing. The good magic of the land is more powerful than you could ever dream of having. If you think I'll answer anything and betray my people, you're mistaken. Oh, you're going to answer my questions, or Dag will have you for lunch. Watessa closed her eye for a moment, and before Kimmy realized it, she was shackled to the wall. Now, are you going to do things my way? Watessa glared at Kimmy. What do you want to know? Kimmy snapped, trying to pull her arms out of the restraints. First, tell me the powers of your grandmother. No. What did you say? Watessa sounded shocked. I told you no, I'm not telling you anything. So you're refusing to save your own life to protect the others? Watessa was stunned. Yeah, I guess so. Look, you ugly thing. I don't care what you do to me. I'll never reveal the secrets of our heritage to you. Even if it means you die? Yeah, even if it means I die, Kimmy answered. Why would you give up your life for them? Because I'd save our world from you. Watessa snickered. Obviously, they failed once again to tell you of your powers. You see, I'm not the only enemy. Your good world has many. Then why wasn't I aware of it? Kimmy challenged. When Watessa stared at her, Kimmy looked away. Because you're a human. And Fiery must have thought you weren't ready to hear it all. I'm telling you, I'm the kindest evil in the land. Other enemies are approaching fast, and once they get to this side of the land, they won't be nice. They won't have conversations with any of you people. They will seek, they will destroy. That's what they've been trained to do. Haven't you been trained to do the same? Kimmy blurted. If you expect me to believe anything you're telling me, then you're just as stupid as the rest. I don't trust you or anything you tell me. But you must. The evil in the land is approaching. Once they arrive, they'll capture Fiery and your mother. Then you're just saying that, so I'll talk. Kimmy looked at her. No, I'm not. Watessa snapped her tentacle again, and Kimmy saw The darkness of the people traveling over the land towards Pornora. What? Kimmy shrugged. Don't think I believe what you're showing me either. It's only another illusion of yours. You silly human, what I'm showing you is the darkest power. They hold all the bad magic, and they'll be here by tomorrow night. Yeah, right. If they're the darkest magic, then what are you? I'm not as dark as they are. Whatever, if it's bothering you that much, then they're coming. Release me so I may get back to Panora and warn the others. You fool, I'd never release you. It's because you're my prisoner that neither good nor the bad magic of the land could touch me. Watessa spat the words at her. I'd be absolutely out of my thinking zone to release you. So let me get this straight. As long as I'm here, the dark magic can't touch you? That's right. And neither can the good. I can't be overthrown, and no harm shall come to me so long as you're here. You sure about that? I'm positive, you silly human. Why do you think I've captured you? Your problem is you've never listened. When people have spoken to you, when Fiery tried to make you understand, she was wasting her time. You always thought you could do what you were told not to, Charisma. You believe you're invincible. Well, you're not, especially right now. Why not? Face it, what you just told me, it's not the, is not only do you need me to protect you, but as long as you hold me captive, my powers are of no use, right? That's right. Montessa smiled, revealing yellow fangs. So, what Dag said about eating me was all a lie? A ruse to scare me? Kimmy laughed. He's not very bright, is he? Oh, he'll fight you again, and he shall win. We'll see, so if I'm so powerful, give me back my ring. What? You heard me. If I'm here, what harm will it bring if I put my ring back on? Sorry, you can't be allowed to do that. Why not? Kimmy demanded. Because, you fool, the minute your finger touches that ring, all your good magic comes back. The only saving grace is you're not trained in all the magic. So what's the big deal? Just give me the ring. No. Well, what does it matter? I'm here because the people of the good land wanted me here. Now, I don't know about you, but I'd say if they can take me from Earth and bring me to the land of Panora, then they can take me from Walby. Wouldn't you agree? Is your mother on this side too, in Panora? Watessa asked. Why? Because I know the darkest magic will capture her. Without you, she's weaker in her own magic. If they reach her, she'll be forced to travel back with them. Watessa nodded towards the travelers once again. Kimmy shrugged. My mother will be fine. I know you're only trying to scare me. Now, I need to rest. I've had a long day. Already. Kimmy closed her eyes. What? Just like that? You've ended our conversation just like that? Yeah, that's right. And when you've got something worth saying, wake me up. Until then, this conversation's over. Kimmy kept her eyes closed and finally heard a shuffling noise and the snap of Watessa's tentacle, and finally Kimmy knew she was alone. Hey, Tyler Hall, how you doing? Fuck, these two boys can be a handful if they don't have their homemade snacks after school and love bacon for my grandchildren. I love that. My day was good as well, thank you, although the snacks I had did not compare to the excellent ones you are having. I can concur. Glad you got some tasty snacks. What's going on, Puck? I hope you're doing well. I want some chocolate chip cookies. Thanks. Much love, Kevin Chat. What's going on, Kev? How are you? How is everybody? Got 9 of you ghosty readers in here. And now I want chocolate chip cookies. Yeah, that was quite an interesting read. These, I don't know about y'all, but if you've been listening from the beginning, these kids really need to just listen, for one, and two, they need to quit getting captured. It was like the 4th time they've been captured. Each time they're sworn to have all their power taken away from them, and nothing they do will help. Mwahaha. Drinking some vanilla toffee coffee tonight. It's pretty good. So, good first chapter, I'd say. A lot of energy. These kids are, wouldn't be talking to my elders that way, that's for sure. But they're fiery, no pun intended. All right. Chapter 14. When Fiery walked over to Bobby, she saw the sadness in his eyes and knew she needed to comfort him. I know this is hard on you, but you must stay strong and focused on what needs to be done. If you don't, Kimmy will be in more danger than she's already in. I figured that, but what other danger's coming? Bobby asked. How do you know there's other danger? I can feel it. It's like a heavy blanket. Meaning, you know, it feels like a heavy blanket is lying across my chest and I can barely breathe. That's how I feel. Boulder, you need to release that feeling, put it to rest. If we all do exactly what we've discussed, your charisma will be fine. And if someone sways, Bobby's eyes glittered dangerously, then we lose her forever. Can I talk to my mom for a few minutes? Bobby asked. I'm sorry it's not allowed, even for you. I know your heart is troubled and Kimmy is your friend, but I can't allow another breach to occur. If I allow you to speak with your mother, another portal will open, and the magic that is more powerful will spill through into our land. I can't and won't allow that to happen again. But what's going to happen when the other evil power arrives? Bobby wanted to know. A great war will take place, but without Kimmy, you know what will happen. Yeah, Bobby sighed. Wish I would have heard her wake up this morning because I could have stopped her. Fiery nodded. Kimmy's strong-willed, much like her mother, but this time she should have heeded the warning of what she had been told. But she turned a deaf ear on the whole situation, causing grief for all of us. I don't think she did it on purpose, Bobby defended her. I never said she did, Fiery smiled. The only thing I am saying is that if she would have considered the consequences before she decided to wander, we'd all be better off than we are now. Well, that's how Kimmy is, but let me tell you something. When things happen, I'd rather have Kimmy in my corner than anyone else. She's someone that everyone can rely on. I know, Fiery sighed. Now I must go. Train well, Boulder. As Bobby stared, he watched Fiery melt, and then she was gone. As Shelby watched her mother, she had an overwhelming desire to walk over to her, but she knew she couldn't. To breach the barrier would unlock unwanted danger, and Shelby wasn't going to let that happen. Come now, let's get started, shall we? Tico asked her. Yes, let's get started, Shelby answered, trying to focus. As Renee thought about what happened to Kimmy, she wanted to cry. She knew how scared Kimmy would be. As she stared at her trainer, she wondered how they could be smiling at a time like this. That alone made it impossible to concentrate, and finally Renee blurted, What's your problem? Can't you see I'm too upset to learn anything new right now? We know you are, Raven, Flam told her sadly, but you must get with it. We're on a time schedule here. Now, enough with the pouting that you humans love to do. We've much bigger things to do now. Are you ready? No, Renee pouted again. I feel like I'm going to cry over what's happened to Kimmy. Wouldn't any of you feel the same? Of course we would. But the difference is, we would take the energy we're wasting on pouting and thinking and put it to good use, Crowley told her. Now, when you're ready to be serious about your job, let us know. He folded his wings across his chest, staring at her. Fine, you're right. I'm sorry. I'm ready when you are. Good, that's a girl. Now let's get started, Flam said, smiling. Dave looked at his guides, Tompkin and Zombo, and then he shook his head. Sorry, guys, I'm not in the mood to train. What? Tompkin tapped his foot impatiently. What do you mean? Just what I said. I'm worried about Kimmy, and the only thing anyone wants to do is practice. I need time to figure out how to help her escape. But you'll know if you learn your magic, Zambo said. I already know how to do my magic, Dave snapped at them. Watch. As his trainers stared, they watched him turn into a dagger, and then he began floating. That's good. That's real good. Now let's get serious, Dagger. You need to pay attention. Half the problem is that tongue of yours. You don't know when to keep it still. Now change back. You're not allowed to use the magic until we say you can, Zambo said. Dave blinked hard and was once again standing before them. Why did it hurt so much that time? He asked, rubbing his arms. Because you changed into a dagger without our permission, Zambo answered. Dave said, So what? So what? It's not allowed, Tompkins scolded him. Says who? Dave questioned. Says the laws of Panora. Dave waved his hand. I don't care about the laws. When are you going to realize the only thing I care about is saving Kimmy? Oh, we've got that, Zambo said, and took a step forward. What we don't get is why you don't stop your mouth from running and open your ears to listen. Because I don't have to, and why is everyone always commenting on my mouth? Look, I want Kimmy to come back here, so I'll do whatever it takes, but I'm telling you, we need to hurry. Fiery said there's not much time. Then stop sidestepping us, Tompkins said. Sidestepping? Dave was confused. Are you not listening to us? What we've told you just a moment ago is exactly what we've been telling you. As far as your mouth goes, it's always running. Stop it, Dagger. Dave threw his hands in the air. Let's get down to business. I'm tired. And the sooner we get this over with, the faster Kimmy will return. I'm ready when you are. As Manning sat with his trainers, Tibbs, Grubbs, and Zambler, he watched. They were showing him more ways to use his magic, and he found the whole thing extremely cool. I want to try it now, he blurted, sounding rushed. Not yet, Zambler said. Why not? Because you're not ready, Grubb answered. Yes, I am. I'll bet you I can do just as good as you can, if not better. He glared at the three of them. What's wrong with you Hillman children? Tibbs asked. What do you mean? You know what I mean, Mountain. You're all impatient and want everything right now. So? So it doesn't happen like that. It takes time to develop your magic, and you've got to know when to use it and when not to use it. Yeah, so I've been told. Manning looked at them. Listen, this whole thing needs to move quickly. I'm worried about Kimmy, and we need to get to her. She's not strong right now. She's been stripped of her powers, and now she's human again. Oh, we know, Zambler snapped. But you're not listening isn't helping. What do you mean I'm listening? No, you're not, Grubbs yelled. If you were listening, you'd know what to do. You're not listening. And you're certainly driving me out of my comfort zone. I never raise my voice, not like this. But do you hear me screaming? I think the whole land of Panora hears you, Manning said, laughing. That's it. I'm finished. When you're serious, come find us. You'd better think about what you're doing, Mountain. You're not just messing with your life, you're messing with Charisma's as well. Okay, Manning looked at the ground and back to his trainers. I'm ready to listen. Teach me my magic. When Kimmy opened her eyes, she saw a guy standing in front of her. Who are you? Kimmy asked. My name is Flipple. What? Kimmy sounded confused. My name is Flipple, the guy repeated. What do you want? And why are you watching me sleep? Because I think you're human. Oh, aren't you smart? Kimmy laughed snidely. Let me guess, you work for Watessa, right? That's right, I do. So what do you want? I want you to trust me enough to talk to me. Kimmy giggled. Oh, thanks. That's not happening. But why? Flipple looked hurt, with his short dark hair, dark eyes, and short stature. Because I don't trust anyone in the land of Walby. I'm not from Walby, he said. Yeah, right, whatever. I'm not. I'm from the land of Venduza. Whatever. I've never heard of that land before now. Well, that's where I'm from, Flipple said. Good for you. Now why don't you go back? Go back where? Flipple shook his head. I'm clearly lost. Do all you humans use such funny language? Yeah, afraid so. Well, I find it most disturbing. Flipple stared at her with his dark eyes. Why are you staring at me like that? Because I've not seen many humans. So? Kimmy snapped. This isn't a freak show, so stop it. What is a freak show? Flipple asked. I'm not talking to you anymore. I'm going to close my eyes. When I open them, I'm going to hope you're not standing there anymore. When she heard Flipple laugh, she glared at him. What's so funny? You are. Just because you don't want me here doesn't mean I'm not going away. Why not? Run along. You now, be gone, disappear, do something. I can't. What Tessa sent me to keep an eye on you. Well, tell her I'm fine, and go find someone else to stare at, okay? I can't. Yes, you can. Kimmy heard another deep voice join the conversation. When she turned her head, she saw a tall guy with dark hair and the most startling blue eyes smiling at her. Oh, great. Who are you? She asked. The name's Petrello. What? Kimmy smirked. Whatever, do me a favor, go away. I can't, and besides, I've seen you on Earth before. You're lying, because I've never seen you before now. That's because one of my magic powers gives me the ability to change my appearance. I'm telling you, I'm Petrello. I've heard everything now, Kimmy rolled her eyes. Besides, what kind of name is Petrello? A good one. He looked first at her, then at Flipple. You can go. I'm here to take over. But what Tessa told me not to leave, until she told me personally that I could. I'm telling you to go. She sent me. Petrello looked at Flipple. Well, if you say so. I just don't want Tessa upset with me. Are you sure she sent you? Oh, yeah. Are you sure it's okay if I leave? Of course. Come on. If it wasn't, why would I tell you that? To get me in trouble, Flipple said. Yeah, but I wouldn't do that. But how do I know? Well, you don't, but if I were you, I'd take off while I had the chance. You know how long you'll be stuck with this human the next time. Flipple looked at him. If you say so. I say so. Now go. As Flipple walked out of the room, Petrello looked at Kimmy. Are you ready to get out of those chains? Oh my gosh, yes, she answered him. Good, now give me a moment to help you. Kimmy watched him close his eyes, and then she felt her hands being freed. She rubbed her wrist and then smiled. Thanks. You're welcome. Now you and I need to talk. What's going on, Rick? Hope you're doing well. Nice. Always love sniping the memberships. Wednesday's members night for Troy, which is our Tuesday morning. Rick Rips, good to see you, fam. Only as I'm the only one that can, as I have Aussie address any sons for me. I joined when I was living over there, but returned to medical care in New Zealand. Gotcha. Love that. This is getting a little bit exciting. I'm worried how exciting it's getting with how few chapters there are left to go. We're talking about a war. That's exciting. Got 7 ghosty readers in the chat. Appreciate you guys. Funny story. I got a notification that Jay's Corner was live today, and I jumped in, and it was for a live that he did a month ago. So I think mine are a little behind. All right. Let's get into chapter 15. We are just at about the 45-minute mark. As Kimmy stared at Petrello, she smiled. How come everyone here has such weird names? Weird names? I'm sorry, what does that mean? He asked innocently. It means funny names. Funny how? Petrello rolled his eyes. You humans are funny. I don't understand what you mean, but just forget it. So why do you think humans are funny? Aren't you humanized? No, Petrello answered. Okay, I thought maybe you were. Kimmy stared at him a moment, but when he said nothing, she put her hands on her hips. Why did you free me? It's a long story. Yeah, I've got time. Unless you're here to take me back to the land of Panora. No, I'm sorry. I'm not powerful enough to make it happen. Then why are you here? Kimmy asked, sounding disappointed. Actually, my mother sent me. Who's your mother? Her Earth name is Stacy. Her given name is Sparkle. Does my mother know her? Kimmy asked. Yes, as a matter of fact, the two of them used to be good friends until the truth was revealed about my heritage. You lost me again. Okay, back on Earth, the two of them were friends before I was born. So what happened? Well, after your mother and my mother got into a fight, she requested permission to permanently live in the land of Panora. Petrello looked at her. What was the fight over? I'm getting to that. He sounded impatient. Like I said, after the fight, my mother requested permission to live in the land of Panora. You can do that? Kimmy was shocked. Well, yes, Petrello told her. All right, go on. Well, that's why I'm not humanized, as you call it. But this whole thing is confusing. Kimmy looked at him. Why is it confusing? Because my mother's so nice to her friends, I can't imagine her driving your mother back here forever. Well, she did. His voice was hushed. Are you sure? Yes, I'm sure. If I wasn't, I wouldn't tell you that. Okay, so my mom forced the two of you to come back here forever. Why? Kimmy dropped the question on him and then waited for the answer. She watched Petrello squirm in his seat. Finally, he looked at her. Because my mother was having a baby from both parts of the land. Petrello said, What? That's right. I've got parents on both sides. My father's from Wallaby, my mother's from Panora. Then why was she allowed to come back? Isn't there a different land for that? Kimmy asked. When Petrello shook his head, he pulled his eyes away from her. My father was killed, and that's the only reason it was allowed. So Fiery granted your mother permission to live on the land of Panora. Yeah. And after all that, you decided to what? Be like your daddy? Her voice was condemning. Well, no. Then why are you here? What do you mean? You know what I mean. What are you doing in the kingdom of Walby? At first, I worked for Watessa. Traitor. Kimmy spit the words at him. What? You heard me. You're nothing more than a traitor. A guy like you has no loyalty. You're wrong. Am I? Kimmy stared at him and watched as he shifted his body again. Yes, you're wrong. As a matter of fact, if I'm such a traitor, why am I here talking to you? Because you're bored, wanted something to do, and thought it'd be fun to taunt me? That's not true. If that's what I wanted, I would have gone somewhere else besides this horrible place. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Look, are you going to let me finish? Sure, go ahead. Nothing else to do, obviously. Okay, as I was saying, I came to Walby to find you. My mother sent me, and since I'm part of both worlds, I'm allowed to access both. Oh, I get it. You mean since you show no loyalty to either side because that would require you to make some sort of a decision, you've decided to play both sides of the land against the middle, right? That's not funny. I'm not laughing, Petrello. Anyway, you should consider yourself lucky that I'm able to travel. At least you've got someone to talk to. Who says I want to talk? Kimmy was looking at him upset. I just thought since you were taken, I could come here and find out what to do. Kimmy threw her hands over her heart. My hero, you're such a man that you couldn't have figured out a better excuse for being in the kingdom of Walby, and you want me to believe your story? I don't care if you believe it or not. I know. You're going to say it's the truth, right? Kimmy stared coldly at him. Yeah, something like that. Well, pet boy, I'm not buying into your story, so don't expect me to tell you anything. He glared at her. Don't call me that. Look, I just want to know what you wanted me to do. For starters, you could go away. I don't talk to indecisive people, especially since you come from both of the sides of the land. I'm not what you think I am. Yes, you are. No, I'm really not. If you would be quiet long enough, maybe you'd hear the truth of my words. I doubt it. Now go. Kimmy swung her eyes to the door. If I walk out that door like you're suggesting, then I'll have to put you in chains again. Kimmy eyed them and looked at Petrello. Okay, fine. You can stay only if you help me figure out how to get out of here. I don't know if I'm strong enough to do that by myself. Hello. What I look like to you? A human with no powers. He smiled. He finally smiled. Yeah, I am. So what? You're not going to help me? Kimmy eyed him. I never said that. I only said I don't think my powers are strong enough. If you believe that, then you're right, and I'll be stuck a prisoner forever. Can we at least try? I guess. He looked at her. Face it, if you try to help me, you could end up changing my mind about the crumb I really think you are. Thanks. You're welcome. So you gonna help? Not yet. I need to know a few things first. Are you kidding? What on earth do you need to know that we haven't already talked about? I need to know that if I try to do this, you'll help me convince Fiery that I'm more good magic than bad. I don't know how I can convince her of that. Oh my gosh, quickly, Watessa is coming. Petrello closed his eyes, and before Kimmy knew it, the chains were wrapped around her again, just as the door burst open. Oh, Watessa, how nice, Petrello addressed her. Petrello, what are you doing here? I came to give Fipple a break. Watessa floated over to Kimmy, stared at her, and then laughed. I find it funny the highest power in all the land of Penora now resides with me. Petrello smiled. Only you could pull something like this and manage to get away with it. He smiled at Watessa. I know. It's because of who I am, and I've got the highest powers in the kingdom of Walby. I know. You also know how I don't like traitors. Yes, I know. Petrello looked at her. Good. I take it you're not one? Oh, no way. My daddy taught me better than that. Petrello glanced quickly at Kimmy. Your daddy was a fine man. It's a shame that he was killed. Thank you. Watessa nodded, then directed her attention back to Kimmy. She snapped her tentacle, and Kimmy saw the land of Penora appear on a wall next to her. Take a good long look. Do you see how hard everyone's working on perfecting their magic? She snapped. Yes, Kimmy answered. Well, they're not going to be able to. Do you want to know why? Sure, Kimmy answered. Because their highest power is on this side of the land. Without you, none of them are strong enough to rescue you. That's not true. Fiery's our queen, and she'll know what to do. Charisma, you just don't understand. Watessa shook her head. Fiery used to be strong until you entered the portal and arrived in Penora. Once that happened, it weakened Fiery and all the others. How come it didn't weaken you? Kimmy demanded. Watessa laughed. Oh, it did, until you were captured. I was almost without power. But once we had you, I was magically recharged. Now I stand before you with all my beauty, and I'll never let you go. They'll never let me stay, Kimmy said. They're powerless against me. Watessa screamed, snapping her tentacle, and the land of Penora disappeared. I guess time will tell, huh? Kimmy smirked. Why are humans so disobedient? I guess it's how we're raised, Kimmy giggled. Enough, Watessa yelled. One more word and it'll be your last. Do you understand? Her purple eye glittered dangerously. Kimmy nodded. Very well. She swung her eye to stare at Petrello. You shall stay with her through the night. If anything happens, notify me immediately. How? Petrello asked. Get word to me. You know I'm unable to monitor charisma unless I stand next to her. My magic is slowly returning. By morning, I should be fully restored. Petrello nodded. Consider it done. Good. Now I'm going to rest. And Watessa floated to the door, turned one last time to stare at Kimmy, and slammed the door. Fiery looked at Rain as they gathered in the colorful room. Do you think it'll work? Rain asked her. I'd say it has to. If this plan doesn't work, then Kimmy will be gone forever. Rain shook her head. I don't think I'd be able to handle that. I know. Now let's not dwell on what the future holds until we know for sure what that is, okay? Okay. Now there's something else I must tell you, which is why I've summoned you alone, Fiery said. Go ahead. I knew something was wrong. Usually you summon us all together. I know. Fiery floated over to Rain. What I'm going to tell you will evoke feelings you long ago forgot about. What is it? Rain asked. Something delicate. Just tell me. Well, do you remember Stacy? Yes. Rain stared at the floor. Her given name is Sparkle. That's right. She's here in the land of Penora. I know. You granted her permission to live here when all the other lands forbid it. That's right, I did. Why? Rain accused. Why what? Why did you allow it? I allowed it because it was the correct thing to do. But why? Because she's from here, Fiery answered. What happened between her and her husband was of no one's concern. Sparkle was young, and her heart led her to where she shouldn't have gone. Exactly. This is why she shouldn't have gone to live in the kingdom of Walby. Uh, why she should have gone to live in the kingdom of Walby, not on the wholesome land of Panora. That's nonsense. She was part of this land as well. Until she turned into a traitor, Rain shouted. That's the past, Rain. You need to let it go. I've tried, but you know how I feel about it. Yes, over the years you've made it quite obvious how you feel. Good. Anyway, what about her? She came to help us. Rain laughed. You can't be serious. What do you mean she came to help us? She stepped over the boundaries of the land, and you and I know it's against the rules to do that. Now you want her to let us help? You want to let her help us? Is that what you're saying? Yes, but there's more. Rain glared at Fiery. Well, go on. Sparkle has a son. A what? A son. Okay. What does that have to do with what we're talking about? Voice. Rain's voice was chilly. It has everything to do with it. You see, her son's name is Petrello, and he was born in the land of Panora. So, I wanted you to know as we speak, he's with Kimmy in the kingdom of Walby right now. What? That's right, Fiery said. Why did you allow it? Rain asked bitterly. Because he's the only one who's allowed to travel to both sides of the land, and you know that. So? What do you mean, so? So, why did you allow him to be with Kimmy? I allowed it because I am the queen. I don't need your permission to make decisions. Okay, so what's he trying to do? He's gone to Kimmy to find out how we can help her escape. Rain laughed coldly. You think a traitor such as Petrello will help her? You think he'll go against Watessa? When Fiery did not answer, Rain turned. She saw Sparkle standing in the door. I don't remember inviting you here, Rain said harshly. I wish you still weren't mad. You and I were so close when we were young. Rain held up her hand. Please, let's not go back to the past, to what used to be. Sparkle walked into the room. I just want you to know that Petrello is a good boy. He offered to go because he can without drawing suspicion. So, Rain shrugged her shoulders. So now I guess we wait until he comes back here in the morning. Is he staying with Kimmy all night? Rain was shocked. Yes, Sparkle answered. But why? So she's not alone. He told me he didn't want to leave her in the kingdom of Walby. Rain walked toward the window and stared over the land before she turned back to address Fiery and Sparkle. So what's the plan? She asked. Everyone knows what the plan is, and now it's time to execute it, Fiery answered. Is everyone ready? Sparkle asked. Not yet, Fiery stopped her. The two of you really need to set aside your differences so it doesn't run interference with what we must do. She looked at the two women. Now I'm leaving the two of you to do just that. Do not come out to join the rest of us until you are both united. Is that clear? She asked. When both women nodded, Fiery turned and left them. Hey, what's up, Lucky James? Lolo! Always good to see you, Lolo. Cool. Man, we are gearing up. That is for sure. But I feel like the chapters are getting smaller, but man, I'm loving the dialogue in the books. I think it's totally a real conversation two people would have with children. And I hope the change in voices isn't confusing anybody. I just want to differentiate when two different people are talking, that's all. Still got 7 of you hanging out here. Really appreciate you. Ooh, this is good coffee. Good coffee. I do still need to I do still need to eat some dinner after stream is done. I don't know what I might have. Maybe Taco Bell. Maybe something spicy. I'm feeling spicy tonight. All right. Let's check in with the children, shall we? Chapter 16. As Bobby watched his friends, he felt an impending feeling of doom settle in his chest. He looked at his trainers and he realized Juniper was staring at him. "What's wrong?" Bobby asked. "Something's not right with you." Juniper was a matter of fact. "What do you mean?" "I mean I see the worry in your eyes. You need to focus and stop worrying about Charisma. She'll be fine. Eventually." "How do you know?" Bobby snapped. "You're not the one in Walby. Kimmy's helpless right now, and I'd rather be with her than stuck here." "If you were with her, it would only mean the two of you would be powerless instead of just her." Juniper stared before he answered. Sorry. Bobby looked at the ground. If she's so powerful, then why is it she has nothing now? Juniper stared before he answered. "It goes like this. Your powers are your own, as long as you never lose the gift Fiery gave you. For instance, if you lost your medallion or it was taken from you, that would be it. You'll instantly become human again." "But I don't understand what jewelry has to do with anything." It's not for me to explain. As you move along with everything that's happening, you'll come to understand all of it. It'll be then your full understanding will come into play. So if I'm powerful right now, and the rest of you are as well, why can't we go rescue Kimmy?" "We shall when Fiery says, not a moment before either. She is the queen, and we must listen to her." Juniper scolded. "Whatever, and just teach me quickly so I can go find her." "First, you must be willing to focus." "I am. Now let's get started." As Rain and Sparkle joined the other mothers, everyone waited with bated breath. Rain looked at all of them, nodded her head, and the circle was formed. As they all held hands, Rain noticed that Sparkle's fingers were cold, and she smiled. When they were young, her fingers always stayed cold, and Rain knew it was a sure sign that Sparkle was nervous. "Are you ready?" Rain asked them. When they nodded, she began to chant, "Oh, great powers up on high, save our Charisma, don't let her die." Rain heard the others join in, and soon their voices carried on the wind throughout the land of Panora. "We are the mothers whose powers are great. Make the good magic without haste. Free our Charisma from the Dark Queen. Let her come back to Panora unseen. We ask Almighty Highest One to do the favor as shall be done. Our Kimmy, Charisma, needs our magic so she can be spared the tragic. Let no other stand in the way. Deliver us, Charisma, on this very special day." As the women repeated the chant, they felt the electric charge pass between their hands and knew it was working. When Rain tipped her head to look towards the sky, she knew the others were doing the same. Then all the women saw Grandmother Culver high above, sitting peacefully on the clouds. "My children," she addressed the land of Panora loudly, "soon the great war will begin, and it is of utmost importance that all of you stand united." Grandmother Culver pointed her old twisted finger towards all of them. "Let none of you come undone. Let no man, woman, or child forget why we're all gathered. You've all passed through the portals by choice, whether you believe that or not. Look to your own hearts for the answers to why you're here." She paused a moment before she continued. "Now let's talk about Charisma, shall we?" "Yes." The people of the land of Panora simultaneously agreed. "Very well, she's powerless for a spell. Soon she'll discover a way to invoke her magic, minus her ring." "Why does she get to do that and we can't?" Shelby demanded. "Child," Grandmother Culver stared at her, "you mustn't fret. Instead, you must understand the powers of command. Charisma sits higher than any of you. Her powers are amongst the highest as her given birthright. Soon, my children, all will be revealed." Stay focused on your own magic, for the time is drawing near. Never wander outside the safety of Fiery's dwelling. To do so will result in capture. We've enough to worry about right now. She looked at each of them again, and they all felt the gentle kiss she laid upon their cheeks. Now you've got more magic. Go forth, my children, and claim your heritage. Walk soft, carry your magic as your shield, and rescue Charisma. Watessa is becoming stronger as days pass because she holds our highest power captive. Now in 3 hours it shall come to pass, and it'll be at that time that the magic in your hearts will fully come alive. Be brave, train well, and most importantly, listen to those who are older and wiser. As the people of Panora stared, they watched Grandmother Culver slowly fade from the clouds until she slowly disappeared. Then Fiery turned and smiled at all of them. Let's gather around and prepare. As Kimmy stared at Petrello, he felt uncomfortable. Will you stop looking at me with those eyes of yours? He snapped. What? Why? I'm only watching what you're doing. Yeah, I understand that, but you're making me nervous. I don't see how. Because you are, and I have to remember the spell to release you. Well, could you hurry? If you hadn't noticed, I'm still in the chains, and any second now I'm afraid someone else will come to relieve you. And no, you heard Watessa. I'm stuck with you till morning. Then what, traitor, huh? Once you no longer have to be stuck with me, what are you going to do? Sneak off to perform the dark magic your daddy taught you? I don't have to listen to this, you know. I could put a silent spell on you if you keep calling me a traitor. You wouldn't dare, Kimmy challenged. Well, yes, I would. If you would keep you quiet enough for me to remember, I would. Yeah, but you heard what Tessa told you. I'm the highest power in the land. Do you really want to do something like that to me? Yes. Why? Because to tell you the truth, you're irritating me. Yeah, well, you're irritating me too, but that doesn't mean I'd cast a spell on you. Because right now you can't. I could try, Kimmy said. Yeah, but you'd only be wasting energy that you need to have to help escape. What about you wasting energy to cast a spell so that my mouth stays quiet? Same rules apply. Petrello smiled. Yes, but it would be so worth it. You ask more questions than anyone I know. So what? Is there something wrong with that? Yes, I've already told you. Now be still. Petrello closed his eyes, and Kimmy could tell he was concentrating. When he opened them, he noticed his blue eyes were sparkling. When he touched the chains that had her trapped, she felt them give, and soon she was rubbing her wrists again. Thanks. Now what? Now we sneak through the dwelling into the land. And if we're caught, Kimmy looked frightened, then the queen will punish us. No more than ever, you've got to keep that mouth of yours closed. Not a sound should escape your lips. Do you think you can do that? I can try. It's important to make it happen, so instead of trying, do it. Fine. Are you ready? Yes. Oh, wait, there's one more thing before you open the door. What is it? Can't you just think of some other spell where you can make us disappear and then reappear in the land of Panora? You're unbelievable. If I could do that, believe me, I would have already. Now come on, we've no time for nonsense. Do you think if I tried my magic it would work? Kimmy asked quickly. What did you have in mind? I don't know. So far, the only thing I've been able to change into is a horse, a dinosaur, and a fireball. So continue. When Kimmy stopped, Petrello saw the serious expression cross her face, and then she smiled. When she felt the slight brush of something across her face, she lifted her hand, touched her cheek, and then she heard a whisper. Be true to your magic, Charisma. Close your eyes and visualize. The land of Panora awaits. Kimmy kept her eyes closed, and when she opened them, she looked at Petrello. I think I know the perfect spell. That quick? He asked. Yes. But you've got to hold my hand. How do you know? He asked suspiciously. Because I know what you've got to do. Sorry. Because I know it's what you've got to do. Okay, fine. He put his hands in hers, and she squeezed it softly. Then he heard her chant, and soon they were floating. When they reached the door to the room they were in, Kimmy and Petrello passed right through it and continued down the hall through the twists and turns of the dwelling and were soon outside. How did you do that? Petrello asked. Be quiet. Don't want anyone to hear us. Funny, it's usually me telling you that. He smiled, and Kimmy smiled back. Not this time. As they floated, Kimmy became confused, and for a moment she didn't know the way back to Penora. Kimmy, you turned the wrong way, Petrello said. How do you know? Because I was raised in both lands, and I know the directions of each. Now you must turn around and head back. Fine. Kimmy spun in a circle so hard Petrello felt his stomach tremble. That wasn't nice. Who said anything about being nice? I should have known better. As they continued to fly, suddenly something crashed into the two of them, and for a moment they went flying through the air and finally slammed into a tree. Kimmy let Petrello go and knew she was tumbling quickly to the ground. Now I've got you. Kixmox was standing before her. No, you don't, Kimmy said as she stood. Yes, I do. What happened? Petrello asked, staring at Kixmox. I'll tell you what happened. Kimmy tried to kidnap you, and I stopped it. Why, if it hadn't been for me, you'd have ended up in the sword land of Penora. Is that where she was taking me? Petrello asked, playing along with Kixmox. Precisely. What do you want? Kimmy demanded. I want you for a late night snack, but I don't think Watessa would be happy about that. So for now, I want you to come back with me to the dwelling. No way, I'm not going, Kimmy told him defiantly. Yes, you are. You're powerless, remember? Excuse me, Kimmy put her hands on her hips. Did you not just see me flying through the air? Oh, I saw you, and I'd call it fluttering more than flying, Kixmox growled. Well, I don't recall asking you anyway. Now come along, Watessa wants you. I'm not going anywhere with you. Yes, you are, Kixmox growled again. No, I'm really not. Kimmy reached over, grabbed Petrello's hand, and closed her eyes. Before she knew it, she felt her feet leave the ground and then heard the snapping of teeth below her. As she looked down, she saw Kixmox jumping high and snapping at her feet. Then she turned, and she and Petrello headed in the direction of Penora. How did he sneak up on us like that? Kimmy demanded. I don't know. You do well to remember you're in the land of magic where anything is possible. I know that. But if I've got all these powers, why didn't I see it before it happened? I don't know. They probably threw up their invisible shield so they could approach undetected. Oh, you've just an answer for everything, don't you? You asked. Gosh, what do you want from me? I want you to use your magic to help me. That's what I want. I also want you to tell me what magic you can perform. No way, I'm not allowed to tell you. Besides, you're the highest power in the land. You should be able to tell me the ways of my magic. I shouldn't have to tell you. Well, right now my magic radar is broken, so tell me. No. Okay, if you don't want to help, you leave me no choice. What do you mean by that? What I mean is you leave me no choice but to let go of your hand. Kimmy was serious. You wouldn't dare do that to me. Oh, wouldn't I? How confident are you? She smiled snidely at him. I'm confident enough to know that if you let me go, you'd have a lot of explaining to do to your mother. Yeah, but you told me she doesn't like your mother anyway, so... So, word has it they're standing on a united front now. Oh, really? She asked sarcastically. Yes, really. I wouldn't lie to you about something like that. I think you would. No, I wouldn't. He shook his head and then stared at her. How do you know? Kimmy asked impatiently. I felt the words from Penora being whispered in my ear. Did you not hear it? No. Well, they're standing united, and maybe you didn't hear it because you talk too much. Petrello laughed loudly. I don't think you're funny. I do. Fine, I'm letting go of your hand. On the count of 3. If all you want to do is laugh at me, that's great. But you'll do it from the ground, I promise you. I'll be the last one laughing. How do you figure? Because once I let go of your hand and you fall to the ground, I'll laugh harder at you because you'll be trapped in the land of Walby forever. I'll learn everything I've got to learn about my magic, and I will cast a spell that makes it impossible for you to cross the lands like you've been doing. Fine. If I tell you I'm sorry, will you let me continue to travel with you? I might. I could think about it. But you need to stop being so cruel. I don't like it. You're just used to Bobby, he teased. She shrugged. Maybe. So knock it off. If you upset me one more time, I'll let your hand go without telling you. Petrello fell quiet and both continued to fly across the land. Several minutes later, both felt the force of something slamming into them again and knew they were falling to the ground rapidly. After that, they remembered nothing. Made me a cappuccino while we're listening to you. He makes a mean cappuccino. Ooh, I love cappuccino. I've always liked the name Juniper, too. I saw Chat come up on our TV. He's working on a science project for school, and his partner is Brad, so they're working on things together while listening. Ooh, I want to know what the science project is. What are you guys working on, if we can know? I love science. Got 9 of you ghosty readers in here. Hope you're enjoying the story so far. It's starting to pick up a little bit, and I'm curious to know what this other evil is and why Watessa is so scared of him. Because Watessa was already pretty evil. Alright. Chapter 17. When they felt the tremor move over the land in Panora, everything stopped. Fiery looked up, then stared at the ground as the whole land shook. Finally, she stared at everyone. Come, gather close, there's news to tell. What news? Rain asked. There's news of Kimmy and Petrello. Rain threw her hand in the air. Good heavens, please let my child be safe. Rain, come now, Fiery gently told her. As they gathered around Fiery, she waited until the ground stopped shaking. Once the tremor stopped, she looked at each one. The news is bleak. It speaks of a different capture. It appears that spies of Watessa are holding Kimmy and Petrello. Close to the border of Panora, Excise and Crumby have cast a spell on them, Fiery informed them. But how? Rain asked. Yeah, how? Sparkle wanted to know. From what I'm gathering, Kimmy and Petrello escaped from Watessa's dwelling right by the border, where they were captured. Now, they're trapped between Panora and Walby. It's not good. At this moment, they're deciding what's going to be done with them. What do you mean? Rain was panicked. Just what I said. Fiery looked at her. Can't we go there? Sparkle asked, but already knew the answer, and Fiery looked at her sadly. You already know the answer to that. Hold on a minute, Bobby blurted. First of all, who are you? Bobby asked, staring at Sparkle. And who's Petrello? When all eyes turned to Sparkle, she looked at the ground. My name is Sparkle, and Petrello is my son. What's he doing with Kimmy? He went to the land of Walby to try and rescue her, or at least to make sure she was okay. Then she was either going to bring her back here or carry the news to her well-being back to Panora. Why? Bobby demanded. Why what? Why did you send him? I mean, that day... all day we've done nothing but train, and I think we're all strong enough to go to the kingdom of Walby. Now I say enough is enough. He swung his eyes and stared at his friends. Are you with me on this? Yeah, they answered. Then let's go. Bobby tried to walk away with his friends, but as they turned, they realized a group of people surrounded them. We can't allow your passage to leave, Bobby's mother, Wendy, told the children. I don't care, Mom. You know how I feel about Kimmy. It's taken everything in me to be separated from her today. I'm going to rescue her, and I don't care what you or anyone says. Then we shall use our magic to keep all you children here, and we shall win, Fiery said. But why would you try to stop us? You didn't stop Petrello. Because it's not safe, Wendy answered. Ever since we got here, it hasn't been safe. That's true, but right now it's even more unsettled, Fiery offered. So? Bobby shrugged. So it won't be allowed. Fiery was firm. What if we try to leave anyway? Then, like I said, we stop you. You know what? I no longer care. I'm going anyway. Bobby turned to look at his friends, who nodded. The lightning zigzagged out of the sky and hit the ground in front of Bobby and snapped as blue sparks shot out towards him. Then all eyes turned upward. Perched high on a dark storm cloud sat Grandmother Culver. She immediately pointed her finger at Bobby, then at each child. This is the time they'll tell any of you. This is the last time I'll tell any of you this. Listen to your elders. They are wise, and they know the rules of Panora. If you defy them again by arguing, I'll see to it that you are immediately transported back to Earth as your punishment. It'll be on Earth, when you're all alone, that you'll want to come back to Panora and find out what's going on. Now, I had better not be disturbed one more time. Is that perfectly clear to you, Bobby? Yes, but I never told them to bother you. He nodded towards the elders. Grandmother Culver laughed. You don't have to. I hear everything that goes on, and let me say, I'm not thrilled. You Earth children have a lot to learn. Grandmother Culver looked at each of them. I suggest you start listening. You've been disobedient since you've gotten here, and it had better change. In the land of Panora, children are raised to respect their parents and learn from them. You'd be wise to remember that if you hope to survive here. If you continue doing what you are doing, well... What? Bobby whispered. You shall die in the land of Panora, and there will be nothing we can do to stop it. This isn't recess at school, so wise up and take this mission seriously. If I so much as hear the echoes of argument from any of your lips again, and if your bitter, disrespectful words force me to show myself again, when I am trying to recharge and rest for the Great War, that'll be it. Your time in the land of Panora will be finished, and you'll immediately go back to Earth, as quickly as you shall blink your eyes. Her voice was direct. Now I've things to do. All of them watched as she flew to another cloud, as graceful as a bird, and disappeared. When Kimmy woke up, she looked around and realized that she was in a tree. Petrella was running next to her, and she noticed she had a small gash on the side of his head. Petrello, can you hear me? Yes, he whispered back. Where are we? We've been captured again by two of Watessa's spies. Their names are Excise and Crumby. Can we escape? Not yet. Don't try anything until we've got time. They're coming. Pretend you're sleeping. Kimmy closed her eyes, heard a shuffling of something drawing near to where she was, then it stopped. So, this child holds the highest power of both the lands, Excise asked. That's what they said. I find it strange that something that looks like it could be so powerful, don't you? Crumby asked. Yes, she's weird looking, and it's almost hard to cast my eyes upon her. Excise stared down at Kimmy. I guess you don't have to be beautiful to hold power, Crumby said. I'd say so, because this creature certainly is not. Excise agreed. So, what shall we do with them? Crumby looked at Excise. We shall wait one night until Watessa grows stronger within her power to travel. As soon as this creature breached the portal, all magic in the land weakened. I agree. Why, it took all my strength to stop them, and I shall feel the spell draining me. I still feel the spell draining me. What about him? Doesn't he work for Watessa? Crumby looked at Petrillo. Yes, the creature must have captured him now. We should move him to a more comfortable spot of resting. Excise was serious. Petrello stretched and looked at the spies. So you're awake. That's good news. Crumby fluttered his wings and landed on Petrello's arm. Yes, my head is torturing me, Petrello said. From the fall. Excise was a matter of fact. Yeah, Petrello agreed as Kimmy continued to lie with her eyes closed. So, what do you know of the creature? Crumby asked. Very little, Petrello lied. Is it true she holds the power over both lands? Yes. Is she powerful? Yes. How so? Crumby asked. Powerful enough to chant her spells through her sleep and turn any of you into bait for other creatures. Petrello answered. Do you think she's chanting right now? Yeah. It's what she does. How do we stop her? Crumby asked, upset. You can't. Petrello shrugged her shoulders. So, should we move her to the dungeon? Excise asked. No, she's okay right here where she is for now. If she tries anything, then we shall move her, but if she wants to escape, she'll do so whether she's lying here or in the dungeon. Petrello was serious. She's an ugly creature. Kind of looks like you, Petrello. Crumby laughed. Well, thanks. No problem. You both got those human features about you. It's quite disturbing if you ask me. Personally, I don't know how you can stand it day in and day out. You look human. Crumby looked up at Petrello from his arm. You think a fly like yourself is good looking? Petrello snapped. I'm not a fly, I'm a handsome insect. Yeah, right. I am, Crumby continued. Enough, Crumby. We both know we're better looking than they are, so drop the conversation. We have more important things to talk of, X-Eye said. Like what? What could possibly be more important than my good looks? Crumby asked, puffing out his chest. Well, the high-powered witch that's lying here for one thing. As ugly as she is, she's still powerful, X-Eyes reminded them. True, Crumby agreed. So, Petrello, you think it's safe to leave her right here, you say? X-Eyes stared at him. Yeah, she'll be fine. We hit pretty hard when we landed. Look at her, she's out cold. True. X-Eyes flew over, landed on Kimmy's nose, and waited. Yep, she's out cold. Her stump even flinched when I landed on it. Her stump never even flinched when I landed on it. That's not a stump. It's called a nose. Whatever, X-Eyes said. Stump, nose, it's still disgusting, any way you look at it. Yeah, true. Crumby flew over to where X-Eyes were and buzzed around Kimmy's head. Look at you two. Why don't you leave her to sleep? I don't know about you, but the last thing I want is the highest powerful witch in the lands to wake up. X-Eyes flew off Kimmy's nose and then landed on Petrello's arms, and Crumby buzzed over nervously in front of Petrello's face. Will Fiery and her armies come to get her? Crumby asked nervously. I don't think they'll cross the border. You must remember that if Watessa is weak, so are the others. So what do you think is going to happen? X-Eyes asked. I'm not sure. I guess we wait to see what she does. Petrello nodded towards Kimmy. I mean, if she chants about destroying both of you, then we'll be in trouble. What about you? Crumby asked, annoyed. You didn't mention anything about her destroying you. You're right, I didn't. I'm bigger than both of you, and would be harder to diminish me. As Kimmy laid there listening to Petrello, she immediately started chanting the first thing that popped into her mind. She didn't know whether the chant would work or not, but she knew Petrello was telling her to do something. When she heard the screech of something, then the silence, she felt Petrello grab her arm. Good job. You apparently did something, and both X-Eyes and Crumby vanished. Now, let's go. Time is important, and we must reach the land of Penora. As Kimmy stood, she smiled at Petrello. I did it. Yes, you did. The problem is not knowing where they went. I think they're long gone. I asked they be removed from the land of Walby, never to return. I don't believe you're strong enough to make that happen yet. Come on, concentrate so we can fly. I feel Watessa moving over the land. We haven't much time. Wait a second. I thought the fly said she'll wait one more night to restore her power. Don't believe them. They're mere flies, which is nothing more than Watessa's spies. Now we must hurry and travel fast. As Petrello and Kimmy held hands, Kimmy closed her eyes, chanted, and then felt their feet lift off the tree. Soon they were flying until Vixbit landed on Petrello. I'll save you, Petrello, Vixbit yelled. Then he flew into Kimmy's nose. Listen here, you release him and no one gets hurt. Vixbit stared at Kimmy. Land in that tree over there. The queen is coming. You're captured. Can't be avoided. Watessa's stronger than you. I don't think so. Kimmy reached up with her free hand, then swatted her nose, and Vixbit went spiraling out of control towards the ground. Keep flying, Kimmy, Petrello encouraged. I feel Watessa approaching fast. As Bobby listened, he felt defeated. He knew they were leaving soon to cross the border in Walby, and he wanted to leave hours ago. Now, everyone knows what's expected, Fiery asked. Yes, the people answered at once. Can I ask a question? Bobby blurted, stopping everyone. Go ahead. What magic powers does Petrello have? Many, one of which is the ability to start fires. His given name is Petrello, meaning petroleum. It's one of his strongest powers. What else can he do? Fiery smiled and felt the jealousy coming from Bobby's spirit towards Petrello being with Kimmy. He knows a few more good tricks. But then again, so do you, Boulder. When Bobby nodded, he felt better. At least he did something much cooler than Petrello. He could turn himself into rock, or anything he wanted. After his lessons in magic that day, Bobby knew he was magically stronger than Petrello and couldn't wait to show Kimmy all he's learned. "Let's move out, my good people of Panora," Fiery said, and they started traveling. Mrs. 5150, I hope you are doing well. See you in the next stream. Have a beautiful night. Kano involved in part of my... Ooh, I'm waiting them to ask me about the Maui history. Yes, the Moray history. I'd like to learn about Moray history also. Zona Love, appreciate you coming in, sending 2 gifted memberships. Sniping one of her own memberships, and then Jeremy getting the second one. Appreciate you coming in, Zona Love. Oh, Kev, that's romantic? What's romantic? Which version, Eric? Moray or English version? They're both very different versions. As a native, we were born to look after the land and don't own it. English is the opposite. That's funny. I appreciate you, Zona Love. And we are... I think this is going to be the last chapter that we read through tonight. I think there's 30 chapters total. Yeah, there's 30 chapters total, so wanted to do 5 streams, 6 chapters each, and we just read chapters 12, well, 13 through. Now we're going to finish 18, and we'll probably wrap it up for the night, y'all. So really appreciate you guys hanging around, sticking around with me while we read through the adventures that my mother wrote. Yeah, no worries at all. No worries at all. It's just going to be one more chapter. Take a look and see how long this chapter is. This chapter is about 8 pages long, so probably take us just under that 2-hour mark. But we'll see, because if it leaves us on like not a cliffhanger, we might read one more. I don't know yet. We'll see. We'll see how we're feeling. But I hope you guys are enjoying the book my mama wrote. It is quite the adventure, and I'm still got so many ideas of how to rework it in a way that I know she would have loved to see it or continue the series. I'm really excited to see how this ends. Chapter 18. As Watessa flew over the land, she felt her powers weaken. She stopped briefly in a tree to rest and let her eye scan the area. She snapped her tentacle against the thick tree branch and watched the land of Panora appear. She watched Fiery's armies approaching, took out her sword, rubbed it 3 times, and Kixmox appeared. "Fiery's armies are approaching. Get word to the armies of Walby. When you've finished doing that, throw up the invisible wall around the land, and I shall do the same." "Then why use my power?" Kixmox growled. "You can do the same as me." "Fool, don't argue with me. I'm weaker right now because that wretched witch is here. Now go, do as I say, and I'll let you live." Watessa snapped her tentacle, and Panora disappeared along with Kixmox. As she concentrated, she felt a sliver of magic escape her tentacle towards the border, and hoped her shield would be strong enough to prevent Fiery's army from crossing over into the land of Walby. When she tried to take off from her resting spot, she couldn't, so she laid her body down for a quick rest, knowing she had once again used all her magic. Fiery felt the bad magic moving over the land, and finally, as she floated, she raised her hand. When everyone came to a halt, she looked at them sadly. Watessa threw her shield around the land of Walby. "So break it down," Shelby said. "I can't. Watessa also cast a spell to weaken all of us." "That's crazy. I still feel strong," Dave shouted. "For now, you do, and only because you're still young. In time, you'll feel the power of your magic draining." "I say we keep moving," Bobby told him harshly. "Remember the purpose here. Kimmy's trapped on the other side of the land, and we must save her." Rain stepped forth. "All hear me now." Her voice became loud and strong and echoed over the land of Panora. "Our magic is depleting, and soon we'll have the need to rest. Those of you who feel drained, show your sign of hands. When Bobby spun around, he couldn't believe more than half of the people had raised their hands. You've got to be joking. Can't you people reach deep and pull your magic to the surface? That's enough, Juniper, one of Bobby's trainers, said. Quite enough, Wanbuyu, the other trainer, echoed. So what now, huh? He asked, spinning around. Do you think you're not brave enough to continue? Bravery has nothing to do with it, Fiery answered sadly. That's it, Bobby Martin. If you so much as utter one more word of disrespect, you'll be grounded forever once we return to Earth. Wendy, his mother, reprimanded. We all know how much you want to save Kimmy, but we must do what's good for the whole of the people and not just what you want to do. Bobby fell quiet. Very well. Let's rest right where we stand for a spell. When we awake, we'll all be stronger for it. Fiery told the people, and Bobby noted how weak her voice sounded. Will you be okay? Yes, my child. I just need to recharge. As the group settled on the land, Dave and Manning walked over to Bobby, and when Renee and Shelby saw them, they too walked over and settled on the ground in a little distance away from the others. So do we rest? Dave asked. I think we should. I don't know what's going on, but Fiery is weak. Renee spoke softly. Very weak. I say we wait until they fall asleep. Then the 5 of us should leave and rescue Kimmy. Face it, we're younger and we've obviously got more energy than they do. Manning nodded towards the others. Besides, I don't like knowing Kimmy's traveling through the land of Walby with a complete stranger. He may be a stranger to us, Manning, but not to the land of Panora. Renee answered gently. Yeah, well, none of us know who he is, so I agree with Manning. And soon as they're sleeping, I say we sneak away, find Kimmy, and come back. By then, maybe they'll be awake and we'll be heroes, Dave said. I don't want to be a hero, Shelby shrugged. I just want to know Kimmy's still alive. I mean, can you believe it? She's the highest power in either land? That's crazy. I wonder how she got so much power. She was born into it, Manning answered. That's what I get out of the whole thing. I mean, you all saw the power of Grandmother Culver. Now, come on, Kimmy's part of that bloodline. It'll be so cool when we return on Earth knowing magic. Just think about how many girls we can cast a spell on to like us, he laughed. Just kidding. But I'd love to cast a spell on my teachers and have a year without homework and still get straight A's. Yeah, it would be cool. Come on, cheer up, Bobby, Shelby told him. Soon we'll be out of here and going to get Kimmy. Look at the bright side. It won't be long until we're with our friend again. I know, I just want her here now, Bobby told him sadly. Man, I think that's who you're going to marry someday, Dave laughed, and the rest joined. Maybe. I guess we won't know until it happens, though. Oh, I think it'll happen. 2 of you wouldn't know what to do without each other. Yeah, for real, wouldn't surprise me to hear Kimmy tell me how much she missed you too, Bobby, Shelby teased. Finally, he smiled. I just want her back with us. I hope you get that. I just feel like a part of me is missing. We know. Just hang on a little while longer. Soon we'll be able to leave. When Bobby nodded, the others turned to watch the people of Penora scatter over the land. When they saw them start to lie down, they knew soon they would leave the protection of their queen once more to save Kimmy. When Petrello looked at Kimmy, he smiled. You are doing well with your magic. Thanks. Yep. But I think you should know we're not leaving the land of Wabi tonight. What? Why? Are you going to hold me here? Are you a traitor like I thought? Tell me right now, she demanded as they flew over the land. I'll tell you. Gosh, no, I'm not a traitor. But a shield has been cast across the land, which means we won't be allowed to leave. I don't understand. Who cast a spell? What, Tessa? She used the rest of her magic along with Kixmox's. So we're trapped? Yeah, at least for the night. No way. I'll just chant a spell and hope that you and I will be allowed to pass through it. You can't. You're not as strong as the queen, yet, Petrello said. Then I'll call out to my grandmother for help. Kimmy was determined to find a way out of the land of Walby. But she won't answer. How come you always think you know everything? Because I've been raised here, and I know how it works, especially in the time of the Great War. How could you know? You're not that old. I'm older than you are. I know how old you are. 16, right? I told you I was 16, but I lied about it. I'm really 18. So you're an adult, and 4 years older than I am, so couldn't have seen that much in your short time here. I've seen enough to know what's going to happen. Listen, if we fly into the shield, we'll die. How do you know? Because I do. Once a spell is cast, and someone tries to break the barrier of it, but isn't strong enough, the magic of the spell drains the energy right out of the opposing person. So if we cast a spell on the land of Panora and someone tried to breach that barrier, they would die? Yes, now you're learning. So what do we do now? We'll find somewhere to hide until I know it's safe to try the shield. Okay, where? Can you see up there, where the two lands come together? Yeah, I'd never noticed the difference between the lands before. Everything Panora is alive with color, and everything in Walby is stripped barren. I know. Yeah, but that shocks me. Why hadn't I noticed? Because when you were still human with little to no magic, your eyes allowed you to see things as you normally would. Once your magic becomes stronger, you'll start to see things how they really are. It's amazing. If you ask me, the last time I was in Walby, it looked the same as Panora. The only difference was the colors in Walby hurt my eyes, but the colors of Panora didn't. It's really weird. What's wrong? Want to be back in Panora. All my friends are there, including Bobby, and he's the best there is, and I know he misses me. Yeah, but we can't rush what's happening without bringing danger upon us. If we do things in a orderly way, then we'll be much safer. Yeah, it's still. A land over there. Petrello pointed to a huge tree with a thick bark. As Kimmy landed, she looked around. Won't somebody see us? We're out in the open. No, not as long as we sit here and don't move around. Most of the land is sleeping on both sides. They are gearing up to restore their magic. For the Great War? Not yet. They're restoring their magic in Walby to keep you here. In Panora, they're restoring their magic to rescue you. What can I do to help Panora? Rest. That's the only thing you can do. I'll try. Kimmy studied the land. What's that? She asked Petrello. What? Over there. What is that? Looks like someone's caught in the shield. Kimmy stood. Where are you going? Going over there. If someone from Panora, we can't just sit here and do nothing. Yeah, but we don't know who it is. What if we get down there and find it's the people from Walby? We'll be captured for sure. Well, fine. I'll go without you, traitor. Fine. Petrello stood. Don't feel like you've got to come with me. I don't need you to protect me. I know that. Then sit down. No, if you're going, so am I. Fine, but don't get in my way and don't tell me what to do once we get there. Okay, I won't. As Kimmy took his hand, they flew close to the shield, and she watched both in horror and fascination as her friends broke the shield. I thought you said no one could pass through the shield. I didn't think anyone could. Yeah, right. Kimmy purposely landed hard, jarring Petrello. Then she ran over, hugged Shelby, then Renee kissed Dave on the cheek and smiled as she grabbed Manning's hand. When she spun around and saw Bobby standing there, and she ran to him and leapt into his arms laughing. You're all crazy, but I'm so glad you are. I've missed you all so much. When Kimmy pulled back, she noticed something different in Bobby's eyes, which she'd never been there before. So she looked away, and slowly he put her down. What's the big idea? I've heard that people can die if they pass through the shield. Yeah, well, we've heard the same thing. Holding her hand, smiling, Bobby said. So, how did you do it? Well, we held hands and the shield sucked us through it. Oh, that's great, they all heard Petrello tell them. What's wrong? If the shield sucked them through, it did it for a reason. Petrello stared at them. What's the reason? It sucked them through to weaken their magic. Now no one is allowed to pass from either land for 2 days, 2 nights. Who are you, and how do you know? Bobby glared at him. I am Petrello, and I've lived on both sides of the land, so I know the rules governing each side. I don't remember anyone asking you for your opinion. Bobby eyed him. Yeah, well, no one did. I just thought it would be helpful to know. It is helpful, Renee said, holding out her hand. I'm Renee. This is Shelby. That's Dave and Manning. Oh, and yeah, Bobby. I knew that was Bobby. Kimmy talked about him a lot. Petrello rolled his eyes while the two girls giggled and the guys watched him. So now what? Dave asked Petrello. Well, we go back to the tree that we were in before Kimmy spotted you, and we rest. We need all our magic in the coming days. Being stuck here won't be fun, but if you listen, we should be all right. Who said you're the boss? Dave asked harshly. Oh, no one. I never said I was either. I just thought I'd be helpful and let you know what I would like, what it would be like on this side of the land. Yeah, well, we already know, Dave said. We've been captured once already by Watessa and managed to escape. Then you got lucky. Now let's go. People in Wabi are waking up, and we don't want to get caught. He looked at Kimmy. If everyone holds hands, you should be able to fly us back to the tree we were in. Kimmy nodded, and as all of them joined hands and flew through the land of Wabi. Oh, these kids are so stubbornly ignorant. But whatever, that's the book. Hey, what's up, Adam Jones? See, behind the history book and did for my girls to learn from. The grandchildren used for learning their history. It's more designed for kids to learn from, not really adults. I gotcha. Day's been pretty good so far. I'm just getting ready for a concert. I thought I'd stop in and see how everyone was doing. Appreciate that. Beethoven, nice. Beautiful concert. Beat me to it. I was going to ask what concert it was. So that's gorgeous. All right. Beethoven concert, excellent. I love that. I love that you're going to a Beethoven concert in 2026. Oh, we do 17 likes on the chat or on the stream. 2 new members, thanks to Zone of Love. Appreciate you. I love listening to his classical music as well. Well, I'm caught because I certainly want to keep reading more. This book has certainly got me now. And I want to see how the story ends and how these kids learn their lesson of being stubborn and not listening to their parents. But now they're all trapped in the land of Wabi for 2 days and 2 nights. With Petrello. Who's fun to read for. I like Petrello. He's kind of funny. Nice little double agent. So what we will do in our next stream is we will read chapter 19 through 24. And then we'll finish it up 24 through 30. And we'll do a 5-stream, 6-chapter stream read. How's that all sound? Wow. Good news too. I talked to my my son. He should be making an appearance on Thursday stream. Works for me. Excellent. Sounds wonderful. Appreciate you, Brangus. Appreciate you, Matt. Appreciate all of you being here and listening to the book. Didn't listen to my older siblings. Right? Just, I think the frustrating part in this book is like they're continuously told again and again and again and again and again and again. And where are they now? They're trapped in Walby. They didn't listen again. It's like, man, something really bad's going to happen for them to understand that it was for their well-being. And it really reminds me, like, this book had to have been highly inspired by, like, a story from the Oz series, because I just put myself in Oz whenever I read this. Not that that's a bad thing, because you all know I'm a natural historian in the land of Oz. So sounds like it's going to be a very exciting stream. It's going to be a very exciting stream. He will be here. I'm really, really hoping that the booster box I had coming from the gift received at work of Heatwave Arena will be here by that time as well, and maybe we can have our own little booster box battle between my son and I. Plus, we get to see his natural reaction to all the cards that y'all have sent him over time. And I did want to give a huge shout out to Mary Bear. I don't know if you're lurking in the chat at all, but Mary Bear, your package did arrive. Everything is safe and sound. Really cool stuff in there. I did not have your name on the outside, so I opened it up to see, and when I saw just bulks of fairy energy, I knew it had to have been from you, so I really, really appreciate you. And I'm going to possibly bust out a fairy energy for painting on Thursday also, so more to come on that. But I think that's where we're going to put our bookmark in it for tonight, y'all, and I hope that you all enjoyed the story. Let me take a look here and see if there is anybody on. Of course, I highly encourage after story time that we all rate our eyelids and head on over to bed. But let me take a look and just see if there's anybody on right now. I think that's JR. Yeah, I think that's JR, Jackson Jade, so we're going to support our brother. You get to see Big Brother Nate, absolutely. So we're going to go over and just see our buddy JR from JR Jackson Jade. Pokey Price is right. I will say as it gets later, he does let some, language slip, so viewer discretion advised, but wholesome channel, great guy, amazing, and definitely an advocate for the art side of the community. So have a great night. Peace, love, and Pokemon from New Zealand family members. I absolutely love you all with all of my heart. And always remember to go out and get everything that you set out to get. Don't let anything stop you. But it takes $0 to be a good person. So always do it through peace, love, and Pokemon. And thank you all for believing in ghosts. I really appreciate you all. We will see you next on Thursday. Peace out, y'all.